Maccas toys are seriously not what they once used to be. I'm talking strawberry shortcake lip gloss collabs. I'm talking cursed Ronald McDonald CD-ROM games, and I'm talking a hell of a lot of large-dyed animals. I'm talking a lot of large-dyed animals. The early 2000s was a way simpler time for McDonald's toy enthusiasts. They would create toys based on just about anything. I'm talking about all the unique TV shows back in the day, like Dragon Booster. That's a core memory unlocked. Nowadays, you would find Maccas trying to push early childhood label with the popular New York Times bestseller, Here on the Farm. Why would I want to learn about that? Ronald, back off, mate. Look, I'm not going to Maccas to try and get an early enrollment into university or anything like that, or wanting to get a fruit bag instead of chips, Ronald. No one wants a fruit bag. I'm going to Maccas to see how fast my toy will travel when I throw it down that goddamn slide. Yes! I'm going to Maccas to have fun and get a great toy out of it. And this is what today's video is about. This is the extremely nostalgic McDonald's, Maccas, Mickey D's toys of the early 2000s, working title. Before this video begins, just a quick word from our sponsor. Nah, I'm only joking. Before people start asking who Macca is and why I keep referring to God's Palace as Maccas, no, it's not the local drunk down the street. Hi, Pete. It's actually just what us Aussies call McDonald's. Maccas is, according to Colin's dictionary, commonplace Australian slang for McDonald's. Slip me some skin, Colin. Oh yeah. Growing up with Maccas was great. Everyone has had Maccas before. Except if you're Sabrina Carpenter and just don't know what happiness is.
I've never had McDonald's before.
Every kid dreams of eating there every night. However, the request to get Maccas was hard because every parent would globally throw out the wild card, but we have Maccas at home. But Mum! Some nights were just the nights for it, and after convincing your parents that choosing Maccas for dinner tonight was the best financial decision, and they say yes, you're in, baby. You're getting a Happy Meal. These little red boxes were the spawn of so much fun, and part of a gambling problem that I think is part of my character growth today. My luck with these toys? Not very good though. I would always get 3 of the same toy and it would always drive me up the wall. You cannot tell me that Maccas has a full bucket of Buck Clucks just chilling there and no other toy in the Chicken Little range. Come on, man. All I wanted was Runt of the Lid Up. Please. Some of those toys from the early 2000s were something special. And before you start judging and think, it's just a toy, get over it. First of all, that was just my heart you just stepped on, thanks. And secondly, here in Australia, we got some fire Maccas toys. So being absolutely hyped as a kid was totally justified. Like, who did not want a Barry B. Benson doing a little jig? Look at him! For me to be able to talk about these little plastic things that I remember, I thought it would be a great idea to split these Maccas toys into parts. So we will start at the beginning. Part 1, the first part. This is the part that features all the toys that were just weird. The toys that no one really asked for, but we got anyways. The Jane Brady to the Marsha Brady, if you would. The weird toy that just made us go, why is that a toy? But we got it anyways. This includes the Australian Idol range we got, that I doubt anyone really remembers. I've still actually got 2 of these toys from this range. I've got the mini guitar that was clearly designed for Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. And also a pair of speed dealer glasses that makes you look like a sex icon. This range also blessed us with a non-working microphone with a rotating prompter in it, a headset that plays the theme song, also a clapper to clap when you sing to no one, you loner. You suck, but I'm clapping anyways! Woo! And finally, a cheap white MP3 player that just plays random noises from the show. What a great range of toys. Is, if you're nasty, was another damn right wacky tobacco toy. This little bugger, very similar to this little thing, would play random noises and sounds. Mine came from McDonald's broken, so I never really made sounds or music, so it made its way straight to the shelf where Wheezy lives. Wheezy? Sup, bro? They came in a whole different variety of colours, and I remember when I first got it that I genuinely had zero clue what they were. Hell yeah. And still to this day, zero clue. Even the McDonald's toy ad for these, the children had no idea what they were either.
I know what it is. Well, maybe I don't.
See what I mean? Nonetheless, it was a great toy anyways, and I remember everyone going bonkers for him at school, so something must have worked out. What was with all the Neopet stuff? Holy God, that's a lot of Neopets. I didn't realise the sheer amount of freaks of nature there were. Think Beanie Babies, and boom, you've got it. There were little plushies that Maccas went cray-cray for in the early 2000s. Maccas made everything. Pigeons, we got it. Dragons, we got them too. Tigers, we have them. Quiggles, we got them too. What's a Quiggle? Don't care, I want 13 of them. Part 2, the Squeakquel. This part explores the unique side to Maccas toys. Ronald was cooking something unique here and throwing a spanner in the works to what a normal fast food toy should look like. Ronald doesn't conform to social etiquette. Oh, that's a nice word, you know, very nice. Move aside, Builder-Ron, whatever that toy was. There's a new sheriff in town and his name is Lizzie McGuire. Fashion all over. Lizzie McGuire released 4 different PC rum games to the lads and the ladettes of the early 2000s. But there was one that I personally played. It was fashion all over. It was the only one my sister scored in her Happy Meal. And being that we only had one communal computer to share in the family household, this game was on rotation most of the days. So it's the one I either watched a lot of her playing or I played myself. The game had Lizzie's quizzes. Video clips to watch from the show itself. At the time this was pretty big, there was no YouTube to watch clips from the show. This was how you would watch clips. You can make a door hanger for your room. And there was also an outfit design game that you can make Miranda look like a little crackhead. Oh, a little crackhead. Another simply unique toy that holds a serious place in my heart was the little random speakers that Maccas decided to drop out of nowhere that featured one full-length song on them. These things were mad. This is what introduced me to Crazy Frog with the song Axel F. These little things were absolutely the talk of the town in Australia. When you didn't have the latest iPod or couldn't afford the latest CD of So Fresh, you had these little things to rely on from a Happy Meal. The Veronica's one was the elite one, however. You can fight me on that, but that was the elite one. This is what they sounded like back in the day. Yeah, that's just wild. What is probably the best crossover in the world? Was it Scooby-Doo and Kiss, Rock and Roll Mystery Original Movie? No. I'm talking Crash X Spyro, thank you very much. More specifically, I'm talking about these little plastic video games that Mickey D released. These little things, bee's knees. I'm just going to say it, bee's knees, they were the bee's knees. Maccas had about 8 different versions of this game that dropped. They were the answer for when you were waiting in the doctor's office, you would whip one of these out. Or if you were on the road on a family vacation, you'd whip out one of these little bad boys, because no one had a smartphone back in the day. This was peak entertainment. Part 3, 1+2, the Electric Boogaloo. This part is dedicated to all the toys that I found to be the best toys that Maccas had made. Also known as the mystic or legendary McDonald's toy pools. These toys were something special. The dog. T-H-E-D-O-G, the dog. Is there anything else I need to say to make you believe that this little thing is not the cutest thing in the world? I don't know what it was. Was it the fact that they had eyes popping out of their heads, or that they were the size of a little baby poop? One thing was for sure, everyone went bonkers for these things, and everyone wanted to collect them all. You couldn't move around school without someone flinging on their backpack 16 of these things. You could get Dalmatians, you could get Huskies, you can get little Dachshunds, you can get little Labradors. They had all them breeds. Tony Hawk also had a really cool Maccas toy line. Little Tony here could do a variety of things, as each toy represented a different skater boy trick. Like each packet came with its own little tiny Tony, and also a full piece of skater boy architecture. We had Giant Drop Tony, Grinding on Rail Tony, Flick Around the Corner Tony, Nodding Slightly at You Tony, so. And my personal favourite, the Loop-de-Loop Tony. Let me set the scene for this one. Saturday morning, 7 AM. Your breakfast was a bowl of overflowing Cocoa Pops, and you sat your tushy on the couch in front of the TV and flicked the TV on to Saturday Disney. And you heard that now nostalgic intro. Stitch, cut it out, Stitch, cut it out. This is how I watched Kim Possible back in the day, and I absolutely loved this show. And when Maccas decided to stealth drop a brand new toy line dedicated to Kim Possible, boy, I was hype. Shigo would do some random karate shit, and Ron's pants would fly off when you'd fire his grappling hook. What's not to love, guys? The Incredibles also had an unforgettable toy range.
So I zip in and bada boom! And that's how I beat Syndrome. Really?
Excuse me, are you gonna order? Because I've been waiting here for like a good 10 minutes now. They had a Mr. Incredible that you can control his arm swings. It also had an Elastigirl that you could fold her arms and bend her waist. A Violet that had a really cool spinning force field. Dash that was just a running hamster wheel. And finally there was a little Jack Jack that looked like he had a bad case of the worms. Cut it out, Jack Jack, cut it out. This toy range was great. Excuse me, do you mind if I sit? Thank you. In today's Happy Meals, you might struggle to find something fun or just worth keeping. It sounds like they're getting better with what toys they're including in Happy Meals with the new range of Mario Kart toys. Okay, yeah, that seems pretty cool. But nothing, and I mean nothing, can convince me that we didn't have the best toy range back in the early 2000s. And I am so glad I was the right age to not experience a year on the farm. Seriously, Ron? No one asked for that. No one asked for it. No one wants that. That's so sick.